guys, today I have something a little bit different to share with you. I really wanted to share with you some tips about how to pan nail polishes. So if you've been on my channel for a little bit, you know that I do a lot of project polish videos. It's probably one of my favorite projects. I figure I probably should share some of the tips I have here, and I have 10 tips and they're not really in particular orders, I don't think, so hopefully they can help you. So let's get into it. The first one, well, the first few actually are about picking your polishes. I think when you plan a project, when you want to pan polish, it's not all about the actual panning process. You do have to plan things a little bit ahead of the time too. So number one, I think you shouldn't pick too many polishes altogether. Especially for me, I feel it's hard to use the same color over and over and over and over again. So by having that polish sit in my collection or in my panning project collection little pile, but it's not used, just by looking at it for 3 months straight, even though I haven't used it, I would get tired of it. You know what I mean? So you have to do the math a little bit. If you only paint your nails once a week, then if you have 4 polishes, you basically could only rotate through each polish once in a month. Then why put a 5th polish in? Because there's no way you're gonna touch it anyways. So I would suggest start small. If you can work fast, then add more in later always. That's not gonna be a problem. The number 2 is about picking colors. I feel there is some thoughts behind it. Just how many of us work in an environment that doesn't have much to say about your nail polish colors. Some of the environments are definitely a little bit more conservative and very professional, so you probably wouldn't be able to rock, say, a teal color every day, right? So if you put a teal colored nail polish in your collection or in your panning project, you probably won't be able to use it very often, maybe only on the weekends, and that's just very limiting. But at the same time, if you pick something a little bit more neutral, like a gray or a pink, usually, you know, those kind of colors could be a little bit more subdued. I think you have a better chance to use them more often. Or even on weekends when you go to a wedding, like a teal color maybe doesn't go well with the dress you planned, but usually like a gray or a pink, they basically go with everything. So I think if you pick some neutral colors, lighter pinks, or even reds sometimes, you would be more likely to wear them anywhere, right? So I think that would just give you more chance to use them. I would always have an easier option in my project, and I think that just really helps out. And also when you pick colors, I think you should be aware of your season. Well, especially if you're a seasonal polish wearer, which I am. I know some people don't care, then go for it. If you want to rock a neon yellow polish in the middle of December, all the power to you, it's good for you. You do that. And if you are a seasonal polish wearer like I am, then you should be aware of your season basically. So I say that because it's from my personal experience. I used to live in Vegas and it's hot. It's summer for like 6-8 months of the year. But right now, my season is exactly the opposite. It's like 6-8 months of winter time. Then I can go through a lot of winter polishes and pan through them. So if, say, for example, in June, you want to add some more polishes in, like for me right now, there's no way I'm gonna add 2 more full-size neon polishes because my summer is really maybe like June to September, and there's no way I can finish 2 full-size neon polish bottles. And maybe I will add 2 full-size winter colors in the middle of like January because my winter is so long. So really like take into consideration where you live, what your seasons look like. So just be aware of that when you pick your polishes. And the last one about picking your polishes is actually related to nail polish bottle shapes. So this, well, first of all, let me just talk to you about the three typical shapes of nail polish bottles, talking about the proportion compared to the top of the bottle to the bottom of the bottle. So for example, this one it's going straight down and there's right straight down, and then there's China glaze that goes a little bit outwards as you go down, and also there's say Zoya that goes inwards when you go down. Assuming you're painting your nails about the same amount every month, at the beginning, like the first couple of months, the progress will go slow, but it doesn't matter because I'm new to this bottle. I'm still excited. I don't mind it going slow. And maybe past halfway, I start to get really tired of the color and I don't want to use it anymore. But because the bottle cinches in, my progress seems to go really fast because, you know, there's less polishing there. Then I will get a little bit more motivated and I don't mind using it as much just because every time I use it, I can see the progress. Versus when you have China glaze, you're on the opposite side of the train. You start really fast going down. You're like, yay, good progress. I love this color. By the time you got tired of the color, you will use it so many times and it just would not move because it gets so much wider down there. So it could be a morale killer kind of thing. So if you're seasoned panner, you don't mind that. Good for you. You don't have to consider this. But if you're new to this, just maybe go for some bottle shapes that are a little, you know, cinching in at the bottom. I think that potentially could help you out. So now after we've talked about how to pick your nail polishes, let's move on to how to actually pan them, right? And you just, this is so obvious, like you just have to paint your nails more often, right? That's the key. And when I talk about that, I know it's different for everyone. Like I've gone through the kind of life that I cannot paint my nails, well, not even every day. Like I can't even paint my nails every week. I was just so busy. I had no time. So I totally get that. And that's just one of the things you have to keep in mind. If you don't paint your nails like more than 4 times a month, you're not going to see the progress and it's probably not a good project for you. And I also know it's not easy for everyone to have longer nails. You know, this is God given. What our nail beds look like, the shape of them, you cannot decide. And of course, we all want to keep our nails longer, but they break and all that. But I'm just saying that's another option. If you want to pan nail polishes, maybe if you could try to keep them longer. I'm not saying that, you know, everyone's gonna be successful at it, but that's just, you know, with someone like with shorter nail beds, every time when I paint my nails, I essentially use twice the amount as someone with shorter nails, and of course I'm gonna pan them twice as fast. But you know, those are the kind of things that you could really just try, but I know it's not easy for everyone. But I know for some of us, we just lack the motivation. Like my nails, this is a second day nail. I didn't paint my nails last night just because I was like, well, they look pretty cute still and I'm really tired. I just don't want to go through the entire process, so I didn't. And if you really realize you do that every night for like 1 entire week, you want to change that, then maybe try to use peel off base coat. Because peel off base coat, they don't stick to your nails very well. I'm kind of like forced to paint my nails again, and because with peel off base coat I don't have to deal with the removing process, so painting my nails is only half as long because I, you know, chopped off the removing process and now I just need to paint them. So that could be somewhat a little like time saver if you really need it, so maybe you can try that one out. So where am I now? I think I'm on tip number 6 now. So number 6, it's a good way to help you to paint your nails more often. So this is, again, let's just talk about my nails for example right now. I don't know if you could see, but it has very minor tip wear right now. Probably not. I don't think it's gonna pick up. But I'm sure if I wear it for 1 more day, I'm gonna start to see a little bit more obvious tip wear, especially this color is a little deeper. I really, again, if I'm just really tired tonight, I don't want to paint my nails all over again. And I did not use my peel off base coat, so I'm already screwed. Something you could do is to use 1 coat of the polish over. Like, it doesn't matter, you don't have to remove it, you just use the same color, just do 1 coat over it, and it would dry so fast just because it's only 1 coat, and your nail polish will look refreshed completely, so it doesn't really take much time at all, and at the same time you at least got to use 1 more coat of your nail polish. So I think that's a really good tip. It will make your nail polish look better, shinier, and it will last even longer, so why not try that too? All right, number 7, let's talk about some thick and gloopy polishes, because if you're panning a polish, you are doomed to run into those issues. And usually most of the polishes, by the time you reach halfway point, it's gonna get a little bit goopy, harder to use, dry slower, and all that. So I know most of us are not a big fan of that. If you want to throw it away already, sure, I guess why not? But Zoya does have a Earth Day recycling program. If you could recycle that through Zoya, it would be better than just throwing away for the environment, of course. So I will highly suggest you do that. You don't really have to make a purchase. You can just send them. Beside the point, coming back to thick polish, if you're really determined to finish the bottle and you really just wanted to use it all up to the last drop, a common method is adding thinner. But personally, I actually don't like nail polish thinner all that much, mainly because yes, it makes it easy to apply, but it never dries, because nail polish thinner are not supposed to dry. So by adding a lot of nail polish thinner, especially if you're using it and it gets thick, you add thinner. Next time you use it, you add more thinner. You just keep adding more. Well, of course, the volume is going to go up, so your panning progress is not going to show, but at the same time, the polish will just end up never drying on your nails. And of course, it always is a big deal how you store your polishes. I think that really makes a difference in the, what do you call it, shelf life? Like shelf life of your nail polish. So if you always close the top really tight, make it sealed, then it's less likely to get air in there over time. Also, try to store it right side up all the time, because if you think about it, like all the air comes in where those two parts meet, right? And if you just juggle all of them into a bin, then a lot of them are going to be stored in a weird like direction, then it's going to get thick fast. And another thing that I really like to do is to clean my bottle. So I know, like when I paint my nails, I like to, you know, kind of wipe my brush on the edge a little bit, you know, just clean it up a little bit and then paint it on my nails. And over time, you're gonna have a lot of polish buildup on the rim right here. Maybe you can tell my bottle can tell all those little funky crust on there. And that's actually preventing your bottle from closing tight. So it's not a good thing. And usually what I would do is every once in a while when I remove my nail polish, I would just use my cotton ball and just run through it real quick, and it will clean it up so well. It takes no effort whatsoever, and that would just make this rim clean, and it would last longer because it would close tighter. I know that was a really long tip. I think we're on tip number 8 now. And we still want to talk a little bit about thick polish. And this time I don't want to tell you to use thinner, but rather a very different idea. So for example, this one is really thick. It only has like maybe a third of the bottle left. I don't know what to do with it, and I don't want to add thinner yet because I still have a third of the bottle in. And maybe something I could do is to pour in a different polish. So for example, if I just pour like a little bit, a few drops of this polish in, then it kind of makes it thinner in a way, just because this bottle is brand new, so that, you know, the polish is in good shape, it's very thin, but at the same time I didn't add thinner in it, so it wouldn't affect it from drying. And at the same time I would get a different color because, you know, it's 2 color mixing. For me, I don't mind that at all, because usually at this time at a third low, I'm just tired of the color. I don't want to look at it for another day, and by adding a few drops of gray, it might completely change the outcome of it, and it would make it into a different shade. And at the same time, it wouldn't be so thick anymore. So I think it's just like a win-win situation, and I love doing that. It's just a different method to make you feel less tired of a color, and it also helps with the goopiness. And talking about getting tired of the nail polishes, I totally get it. So what I like to do is to use it in not necessarily nail art, but just in the combination, like try to do something else with it. So for example, something really simple as glitter toppers. Glitter toppers are really no nail art. It's just one coat of glitter on top of nail polishes. It completely transforms the look, and it's really easy to do. So I like to do that. I would try a whole bunch of different glitter toppers on top of the same polish, and some of them turn out really well. I can use it again or not. And something else I like to do is gradient. Gradient for me is really easy, and that way also sponge soaks up some of the polish, so it's a little wasteful of the polish. Usually a gradient mani uses more polish than a typical mani, so that way I'm using the polish a little faster too, so I really like to do that. And of course you can do like dotty cure. Dotty cure is really simple, honestly. If you have a toothpick, you don't have to have any tools. You just grab a toothpick and dip it into the polish and go with a few dots on your nails, and it looks pretty cute, and I like to do that too. So really there are a lot of really simple nail stuff you could do. They're not nail art, I don't think, but it does give it like a really different kind of vibe, and you would look at your polish a different way almost. So I thought that could be really nice if you can try to think of something a little bit different, a different way to use the same stuff basically. Alright guys, we're almost done. So we're at my last tip now, number 10. I just want to say that you have to set a goal. So I always have it in my mind, what am I gonna finish next month? So I want to constantly have a empty every month, so that way I would feel motivated. And in order to do that, you do have to kind of know your progress, because I've done this for 2-3 years now, so I know how much I can use every month. And so I kind of have a vision. All right, if I put this polish in now, I can probably finish it in 3 months, and then I would add another polish in so I can finish it on the 4th month and the 5th month. So I plan it that way, and I know I can always finish something every month, and I will feel motivated. Try to set a goal so that way you're not just aimlessly using everything all at once. I think that could be helpful too. So that's all the 10 tips I have for you today. I know there's probably a lot more tips out there. This is just what I gathered in recent times as I was thinking about this. But if you have more tips, please share them with me. I always want to learn more about how to pan nail polishes faster, because it's just so much fun. I love this project so much. So please don't hesitate sharing with me your tips, and maybe others could see from down below as well. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a like, and also subscribe to my channel. I would link all of my project polish playlists down below, so you can go check them out and see some of the actual combos that I do as I pan the nail polishes, and maybe the ideas will get a little bit more tangible for you. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.